What's up, guys? This is your boy Kavaski, the host of Humming Podcast. Come on over to Pulsating Books, the Instagram account, where you can be a part of the book club or just be a looker of the book club or watch some of the ways that I work towards social media betterment and learn about some awesome topics. I have a few powerful topics in pulsating books, as in pulsating novellas, pulsating James Patterson versus Sandra Brown, pulsating Comic View, pulsating Def Comedy Jam, pulsating Columbo, all these great things that I love to watch and do. I have some wonderful topics that we can talk about, and I have awesome posts as well, from artificial intelligence posts, just simple posts about my day, about how I like to spend my downtime, my alone time, my personal time. Wonderful time. I give glory to the Lord God and all the things that I do. And at any moment, I could share a message. I could share the word that is on my heart. And I want you guys to be here and be a part of this as we take gradual steps into the right direction and continue to grow in our knowledge and love for something greater than what we see right here in this instance, something that'll last. Humming Podcast will last. Pulsating Books will last. But one day, I won't be here. We won't be here. Times will be different. So thank you guys for listening. Right now I'm watching a little bit of Tony Gaskins as he goes on about looks compatibility. I think this is a wonderful topic to just listen in on. The video will be on Spotify. So I want you guys to go on Spotify, follow the podcast, Humming Podcast, and you will be getting some exclusive things from it. And we will have some exclusives coming soon because I have the new subscription mode set to Apple Podcasts, and you guys can now subscribe for special rewards, special accomplishments, special views of what we do. So you guys know I love to give back and I love to do giveaways. So that's a big thing that we can be doing in the future. All right, so let's listen in with Tony Gaskins.
And sometimes there's a healthy balance.
Okay.
But
So
this the 2001 Teen Choice
we just tapped in to Tony
Awards. 2001. Okay, 2001. Wow, I was 17. Yeah, what I was, 17, 18. Yeah. So 2001 Teen Choice Awards. And notice how with Beyonce, her look is not that common amongst black women. Yes, we know black women who look like her, but not in entirety. Because if you notice, even Michelle, she's a shade darker. Now, looking right here, now as a man, I know y'all women gonna disagree with this, but understand, you're not a man. As a man, out of the three, I would say Michelle is actually the most conventionally beautiful. Because, like, for example, Beyonce has a longer lip than Michelle. Now, she not smiling, but even if she smiled, Beyonce lip is longer. Beyonce nose is actually bigger. Michelle nose is the nose after, is what a nose look like after a nose job. Like if somebody go get a perfect nose job, they trying to get Michelle Williams' nose. Now, I know Michelle, but that's not why I'm saying that, because she don't look like this when I met her. I met her in person. She followed me on Instagram. And funny story, one time I wrote Michelle, and she misread my DM. I said, tell Beyonce to get with the #1 life coach in the country. I was referring to tell Beyonce to hire me because she was going through Lemonade. She was turning lemons into lemonade, and it was rumored that Jay-Z had cheated on her with Becky with the good hair. And I said, tell Beyonce to get with or holla at, I just wrote it kind of slang, the #1 life coach in the country. And Michelle responded, something like, you better leave my sister alone before I tell your wife and expose you. And I say, what are you talking about, Michelle? I'm like, wow, but it showed you the disposition of women. Like
What are you
she could not
talking about,
even
Michelle?
fathom that I was talking about hiring me. She thought I was talking about getting with me, personally getting with me,
buddy,
because
you ain't gonna
Michelle
like
friends with LaToya Luckett.
That's what they
And LaToya Luckett
always, they
followed me,
used to it,
and
Tony.
LaToya dated another relationship coach, Rob Hill Sr. But before LaToya got with Rob, LaToya reached out to me, and LaToya didn't know I was married. And then we was on a phone call with me, LaToya, and this another lady, Beverly Kearney, who ended up getting in trouble at the University of Texas for sleeping with one of her players, I think they said. But they were honoring me as a black man or whatever at this thing that they do. And on that call, it came out that I was married. They was like, hey, we having this event. It's on March 30th. And I was like, hey, that's me and my wife anniversary. And I remember like LaToya kind of like took a gulp. Like she hadn't hollered at me or nothing like that. But it was like, it was so early in my career, people didn't know. And I was just on Twitter, and I would only post tweets. It wasn't like a thing where you post pictures and stuff back then. It was like 2010. And that's when she found out I was married. And it was like me and my wife went out there, and we met LaToya Luckett, and we met Michelle Williams. And then after like the first day, they had a cake for us. But then after like the first day, it was like they treated us like the plague. And my wife was like, I think that LaToya could have wanted you and found out you was married. And then now it's like, because they not being the same as they were on the first day. It's a real live story now. And it could have been something totally different. It could have been them just saying like, well, we don't know them. We're not friends with them. So why do we have to be all up under them, or why we got to talk to them? And like, we locked in, we paying attention, we celebrities, and let him and his wife have they time. It could have been like that, but it was almost like they didn't even look at us no more. Didn't even speak to us no more. And me and LaToya Luckett kept in touch or whatever. And Michelle Williams, she followed me on Twitter, and after that, I think she felt stupid because she didn't respond after I said, like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm talking about hiring me for coaching if she going through relationship issues. And she didn't respond. But it reminded me of this lady who, when I tried to hand her my book one day, I was promoting my book, and she was like, listen, I don't have time for the games. What do you want? You either want me or you don't. If you don't really like me and you don't really want me, do not approach me. And I was like, it was a Hispanic lady. So y'all Hispanic lady, y'all take that on the chin. But she could have been like Puerto Rico or Dominican. It could have been Puerto Rico. And I was like, ma'am, I'm just trying to promote my book. Like, I'm married. Like, I'm trying to promote. And she was like, oh, okay. What's the name of the book? I said, what Daddy never told his little girl. I have a copy right here with me. I was just handing out my card for it. She thought I was giving her my card to holler at me. And she had her daughter with her. And she had a little, weight on her hips or whatever, not looks compatible with me. She had a little too much voluptuosity going on, and I like to know I could handle my woman. And she had a little too much wagging for me, and so she wouldn't even look compatible with me. But that's why I think and at this time, remember, I'm 22 years old, so I'm in my peak, peak hairline. I'm chest on me, looking lean, because I'm 30 pounds lighter than I am now. So my head looked bigger, so I looked more lean. Now I got a little weight on my bone, meat on my bone. And so she looking like, man, I'm with my daughter. This man coming up to holler at me. He better be serious and not playing games, because he realized my lead. And so that's why she reacted the way she did. Again, this looks compatibility and how this works. So when you look at this right here, this Beyonce, she pretty. All three of these sisters would be considered pretty. Now, where would Kelly go wrong at? It's not her going wrong, being darker skinned. Why? We already know why. She just as pretty. So we could say all three of these women are equally pretty in their own respect, and that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So somebody would choose Michelle, somebody would choose Kelly, somebody would choose Beyonce. Me personally, I would choose Michelle. That would be more of my look because it would be, I would.
Now, Tony is hitting on a lot of stuff, but he just told some funny stories. I gotta acknowledge that for real. But I gotta go grab something real quick, so I'll be back. All right, we back. I had to get me a little food and look up
say
something. I don't know.
it would be because of the beauty constructs and the programming that as a teenage boy, I would say, okay, she could be a shade lighter than me. She could be lighter than me. And I'm tired of looking at myself. Like Kelly, for me, would feel more like my sister. She would look more like my sister to me because I feel like our complexion is probably closer. And Michelle would be that, what I would consider color contrast. Beyonce, it could be flashback and the makeup, but that would be considered for me a little too light. A little too light, and her nose a little too pointy. And the reason why I say that is because I'm a black man from the South. And so a lot of white people nose look like this. And I had a disdain for white people because of the racial lines, because of the racism. So you see how all this go in with looks compatibility. She looks too familiar to me. Like, this look like my sister. This my sister complexion. This is almost my sister nose. You know, her lips a little fuller than my sister, teeth a little bigger than my sister's, but it would have felt too close to home. This right here feels a little different. It, to me, feels more model-esque. You know, just even, you know, jawline, everything, it felt more model-esque. It felt more like an actress. She looked a little older, though. And I don't know if Michelle Williams is older than these two. She looked like she could be a teenager. She looked like she could have actually been, you know, 17 right here. And this could have been 17. But to me, this looks like 24 to 28, and this looks like 21 to 24, and this looks like 18 to 21. So ironically, the darker skinned woman actually looks to me the most youthful. And as they say, black don't crack. And some of y'all may not know this, but in a bodybuilding competition, they spray tan the white people this color. Like they probably get them to about here, but they trying to get them here. Like, that's spray tan. When you watch women's bodybuilding and men's bodybuilding, even the bikini division, what my wife was in, where it's not like super muscular women, it's just like tone and real fit and maybe a couple of abs, they would try to get them by this color. Like my wife, even being a woman of color, she still had to get that spray tan, and they try to get her darker, like this right here. So now, here's the thing. This look that Beyonce has in any school, in any black school in America, and this is how they became celebrities, because their look was not all that common, although there was different versions of them. But that also helps you become a celebrity. But Beyonce's look in any black school in America would have been in the top 1%. Why? Eyes not too far apart, almost, but right in the zone of being close enough, not too close together, not too far apart. Forehead is a forehead, not a 3 head, not a 5 head, not a 6 head. Remember, Rihanna forehead come up to about here. So Rihanna have what we call a 5 head. And so it's a little different. So right here, and then remember, here to here, and then here to here, and then here to here. So the face is split in thirds, and your thirds is supposed to be even. Your thirds is supposed to be even. Here to here, here to here. Beyonce's face could be slightly more symmetrical than Michelle's. You can't fully see hers, but her face is symmetrical.
You talking about some symmetrical. That mug go boom. Boom. This is big. This is big. And it's little on me. Come on, dog. Ain't no way, bro.
Kelly might be number one. Y'all estheticians. Well, not esthetician, but what I'm talking about, the cosmetic, the women who do the filler. I got a client who do the filler. I don't know if she watched every video though. In New Jersey, and she Hispanic, and so you know them Hispanics, they be on it now. They be on that aesthetic stuff, and so she do the filler. But my wife was just teaching me about this last week, cause she go try to make sure her thirds is even, and so this right here,
wow,
would be seen as a perfect face to the layman eye. To the regular person, this would be the perfect face.
Is it at the bottom of the nose? Or at the top of the lip?
And a lot of times, this what we have to go back to. We have to go back to when somebody was younger, to when they were a teen. So, see right here, he hid that lip. He bit that lip. Right here, okay, he's a teenager. Now, minus all the gold. The gold will get you all the women in New York in that day because this represent money. You getting money. Look at this big gold necklace. Look at who he with and who got all these big gold rings. Look like he got gold teeth in. That represent money. Jay-Z was with the money boys. Money, money, money. You hear me? It's showing the wrong one. It ain't showing the one I'm on. It's the one I'm trying to show here, y'all, but it won't show it up close and personal. So here's Jay-Z. So here's the thing. He looks very young. So remember, as a grown man, he can't grow facial hair barely. So as a teenager, he looks like a oversized child. So let's say he's 16 to 18 right here with zero facial hair. And look, as a grown man, no facial hair. So it makes you look pubescent. I don't even know what the word means, but it just sounds good right there. Pre-adolescent, when you can't grow facial hair. So that is a downside when it comes to men and women. So a woman is not going to be attracted as much to a man who can't look like a man, who can't grow complete facial hair. So that has to be understood right there. Now, the other thing what you have to realize is